This shit is real, this ain't no drill. They fucked around, yo, they dropped that pill. So get your shit right, keep your shit tight. It's gonna get cold tonight. This shit is real, this ain't no drill. They fucked around, yo, they dropped that pill. So get your shit right, keep your shit tight. It's gonna get cold tonight. This shit is real, this ain't no drill. They fucked around, yo, they dropped that pill. So get your shit right, keep your shit tight. It's gonna get cold tonight. This ain't no drill.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I
See what I'm saying?
I thought.
No, so, you know what I'm saying? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
What's up, guys? This is KJ, and welcome to KJ's Corner. And we started off with a clip from my favorite director. That would be Mr. Bill Duke. I love this particular scene right here. This is a scene from the film Menace to Society. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate scene to choose for what we're just about to talk about right here. So as we go back to the clip, yeah, you fucked up. And who are we talking about? America. Yeah, you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up. And I think we're in that find out, fuck around and find out stage. And we just found out you fucked up. Yeah. So I'm here to just offer my 2 cents on this whole thing. We've got mass deportations. We've got the removal of civil rights and DEI initiatives. We've had previously to this, things being removed from our government, that diversity and things that people have worked for over the years to achieve equality for people. Actually, these are things that this country has actually literally been built on. These are things that, standing on equality that has attracted people from around the world to come to the United States. But at this moment, everything that this country has literally stood on is being currently ripped from its bosom right here. So here's my 2 cents. America, yeah, you fucked up. And we're coming to that point. So now we're going to try to figure out, how do we get out of this particular situation? Leave racism alone. And I'll repeat it. Leave racism alone. This country will never heal. It will never go forward. It will never get back to what it was unless we can deal with our racism issue. And until we acknowledge that, nothing's going to ever change. But this is the part, at this point, people who look like me have to sit back and say, do you really want democracy or don't you? Because I felt like back in 2020, there was really just some of us working for democracy, and we got it barely. But that's what, now, I will admit, I'm a person who was under the assumption prior to the election that no way we elect a 36 felony indicted criminal to the highest office in this country. That was never, in my mind, something that was possible. Now, I do know now that I was absolutely wrong about that. And that's the disappointing part for me, because, I didn't place my faith in the government. I never placed my faith in any particular politician. My faith was the people of this country. I remember back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember, USA, the hockey, when the USA beat Russia in hockey, and the pride felt across this country, people yelling, USA, USA, USA. I felt that. I really felt that. But that moment was so important to me as an American, and it seemed to just reverberate around the country. It was a feeling of pride. It was a feeling of patriotism. It was a feeling of being part of a great country. Now, was it really great for my people? No, never. But that didn't stop me from being proud of that moment. It didn't stop me from being proud of my country. So it was a proud moment for me nonetheless. But I only speak that to say that for a moment we had that feeling. So I'm just going to get down to it. if this country is going to ever come back, we're going to have to drop the racism, because what happens, this country has tried to ignore it the best it could. If there was an incident that happened, there was always a reason, even though it was blatantly racism. It's always, well, yeah, we will acknowledge that it might have had some racism to it, but we always look for another reason to explain what happened. Kind of like this election. So I've been hearing online that Kamala Harris lost, Vice President Kamala Harris lost because she didn't run a good campaign, or the messaging was not clear or not concise or wasn't consistent. That's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, and it's insulting. So until when I saw that woman go into Fox News and handle shit like a fucking boss, and I saw her gather people in states and fill stadiums, and then I saw her lose almost every state. Now, I'm a little torn, and honestly, the election was more than likely stolen from what I'm seeing. If you look at the government and you look at the figures from the election officials, you'll see that the number of purged votes were close to 4 million, which would have provided her a win and the popular vote. But what's really strange about this whole occurrence is that the votes that were purged were primarily black votes. So they just took the black votes across the country and they just threw them away. So that's part of it. That's the speculation. I call it a little bit more than speculation because, once again, these numbers come directly from the government. So you're going to have to reconcile that piece of it. But let's just say, for instance, that the election is true. Then the other scenarios is that the American people just absolutely lost their mind. And as my man Bill Duke said, you fucked up. And I think really when you think about it as to why it happened, that doesn't, there's no really point in rehashing that at this point because it's happened. There's no speculation. It's real. So at this point, we have to not really focus on that piece. We have to go focus on what's ahead of us. And here's what I want to quickly do. First of all, what we have now entered is what we call an oligarch government. We know that because we have Elon Musk recently residing in the White House with his own office. Now, I'm not sure if that's where we're currently at this moment, but don't let the distractions or the explanations fool you. Elon Musk has bought Donald Trump. So our government is essentially been purchased. We have a $1 trillion army, and who knows, you just had to come purchase the government. That's all it took, was just having enough money. That's simple. Government was taken over without a shot. Why? Because of our racism. And I'm sorry, if you want to tell me about messaging or a political strategy, let me ask you this. What was the correct messaging when you're running against a convicted felon of 36 counts of fraud? Or what was the correct strategy? I know some people will say, well, they didn't primary her. Democrats didn't get an opportunity to pick their candidate. So she was already on the ticket. So when we had the primary, voters had the opportunity to vote for that ticket. In particular, if something were to happen to President Biden, she would have been the president. But her being on that ticket and going through that primary, the voters did actually pick her. So when I hear that, and it was an argument that I heard prior to the election, so you can look at that way, or you could look at it like this. America, you couldn't elect a black woman to be president. You couldn't elect a black woman over a felon convicted of 36 counts of fraud. Also accused of insurrection. Also accused of stealing nuclear secrets or classified documents. Forgot all about that part, huh? So we took that information along with testimonies from everybody that he had worked in the prior administration who said they would not endorse him for president. The number of people who endorsed him from his previous administration, just for the record, for those of you who weren't paying attention or following along, zero. Zero people that he worked with, he handpicked in his prior administration would not endorse him for president. But you did not listen. You keep saying, well, black people didn't told us. Well, no, it wasn't just black people who told you. It was a lot of people. The people that I just spoke of for their lack of endorsements. They told you, okay? Liz Cheney told you. Mitt Romney told you. Christopher Wray, his own hand-picked FBI director, former FBI director, he called him a Russian asset. Was that good enough? Did that possibly sway your decision? No, it didn't. So now we're here. I'm going to wrap this up with this little message. America, you done fucked up. The only way out of this is to lose your racism. Because the only way this gets fixed is if people come together and fix it. That's it. Now, but also let me just say this to you. To be honest with you, black people, people of color, stand down at the moment, because the first people who need to stand up are the folks who have been voting for this man. And, you know, I got to say, honestly, the folks who have to step up is white people. Let me just get to the point. And I'm sorry, it's like I hesitated to say it. I'm not a racist, but we have to be real about this. And that's the point. We got to have honest conversation. I'm talking to people of color because you guys thought that certain things were going to happen. You know, you were under the impressions that only certain people were going to get hurt. See, you didn't know DEI, the beneficiary of that was white women by almost 75%. So what's going to happen is a lot of white women are losing their jobs across the country. So what happens next is foreclosures, empty houses in your neighborhood, which the next thing will be crime going up in your neighborhood. Layoffs will continue to happen. So this is just a real honest heart-to-heart talk. America,
You done fucked up.
fucked up. No, you done fucked up, right? So my question to you is what you gonna do about it?